Welcome back to the show. Well, just imagine Australia without koalas. That could be the grim reality we face if action isn't taken.
Earlier this year, the much-loved marsupial was officially listed as endangered in 2 states. Today's Jessica Millwood looks at what needs to be done to bring one of our most loved animals back from the brink.
Now, an Australian icon, the koala, has been classed as endangered.
By the year 2050, without government intervention, koalas will be completely extinct.
Global headlines about our national treasure no one wants to hear. But the sad reality is koalas are now officially endangered in Queensland, New South Wales and the ACT. Disease has been an issue for decades. Recent bushfires wiped out tens of thousands. But the biggest threat remains land clearing.
It's a real wake-up call for everybody to realise what is going on out there. Their habitat is running out and we're seeing the devastating effects of what's happening to these animals.
Here at Australia Zoo's new wildlife hospital, koalas are frequent patients. This is little injured Ivy. She's now an orphan. The Irwins want legislation change that would allow koalas to be released back into the wild in a safer location after they are treated.
And it is sometimes heartbreaking when you have to release a little one like this right back in the same spot, right next to that very same road. So hopefully we can make some change and get her released into a safer spot, you know, with going forward with the koalas that we get in here. That would definitely go a long way for her.
As it stands, they must be put back within 5 kilometres of where they were found.
We've found with our science that it is possible to translocate koalas. If you've got a koala that's living in, you know, one tree next to a highway on the other side a house with a dog, you know, it's really got no future.
You'll struggle to find someone more passionate about koalas than Deborah Tabard. She spends weeks on end in the bush assessing koala habitats.
It's a shocking indictment that we haven't taken care of this species, given the vulnerable listing came back from back 2012. So that's 9 years that our government has done nothing.
The Australian Koala Foundation wants whoever is elected in May to implement a Koala Protection Act, which would stop land clearing where there is known habitat.
And they all go, well, what about the developers, Deborah? Well, the developers have got to do their job better. We're in a weird time in history, they've got to be better. So you have to go, you know what, I'm going to nestle my houses in amongst the trees, not this scorched earth policy.
Consequences of not doing something now, she says, will be dire.
If you want koalas for tourism long term, you cannot have your cake and eat it too.
But to protect them, we must first know where they are. That's where Grant Hamilton, his team of researchers, and a massive drone come in.
We can see how restoration efforts are going, or unfortunately, sometimes we can see when habitat has been chopped down. So all of these pieces of information can get gathered and help us to create better management plans to make sure that koalas don't go extinct into the future.
Grant and his team have now created an online portal and are training land care groups to use their own drones.
It's an incredibly exciting opportunity, and we're really hopeful that we can spread all throughout Australia with this.
At the end of the day, if we can't protect koalas, I mean, what hope do we have? They're literally the most adorable animal on the planet.
Oh, doesn't your heart just melt looking at those faces?
It does. Little things. They're worth preserving, aren't they?
Definitely.